This is Right to Life of Central California Director John Girardi, bringing you another in our 40 videos for 40 Days for Life series. 40 Days for Life is the international campaign of prayer and presence outside abortion clinics throughout the country and throughout the world. If you want to learn more about our campaign here in Fresno, just go to rtlcc.org or give us a call at 559-229-2229. There's a lot of activity going on right now with the abortion issue. In Washington, you have both the House and Senate voting on the Women's Health Protection Act. This is a horrible piece of legislation that would codify Roe v. Wade as federal law, basically to make the country Roe v. Wade overturn-proof. You see the President of the United States just a few days ago in his State of the Union address talk about how the right to abortion is under attack. And why is there all this flurry of activity? Well, the answer is very simple. The new makeup of the Supreme Court and the distinct possibility that the court will overturn Roe v. Wade this June. So this is an opportunity to talk about Dobbs versus Jackson Women's Health Organization. The Dobbs case, as it's called, kind of in its shorthand, is a case that emanates out of the state of Mississippi. Mississippi passed a law to ban all abortions after 15 weeks of pregnancy. This law directly challenges the central holding of Roe v. Wade's successor case, which is Planned Parenthood versus Casey. Now, Roe v. Wade gets the name recognition, but Planned Parenthood versus Casey, which was a 1992 Supreme Court decision, is really still today the governing law in the United States surrounding abortion, more so than Planned Parenthood versus Casey. It kind of replaced Planned Parenthood versus, more so than Roe v. Wade, rather. Casey wound up replacing Roe v. Wade's sort of legal rationale and is now really the basis for abortion regulation in this country. The central holding of Planned Parenthood versus Casey is that no state government or federal government can ban abortion prior to fetal viability. Okay, viability is the point in a pregnancy where theoretically the baby could survive outside of the womb. And that point in pregnancy, it varies from kid to kid, and it also varies depending on how good of a NICU you live next to. But that point can be somewhere between 22 to 24 weeks into pregnancy. Mississippi is banning abortion at 15 weeks of pregnancy onward, so very clearly it runs afoul of the Planned Parenthood versus Casey standard. Now, Planned Parenthood versus Casey also prohibits states from banning abortion after viability. We'll talk about that later. So, in the Dobbs case, we see the Supreme Court being presented with a very simple question. The question presented to the court is, can state governments ban abortion prior to fetal viability? If the court says, yes, states can ban it, then Roe v. Wade is overturned. And the outcome would essentially be that every state or the federal government can regulate abortion however they want. If the court says, no, states can't ban abortion before fetal viability, then we will probably be stuck with the status quo, the disastrous status quo of Roe v. Wade and Planned Parenthood versus Casey, which is that abortion is legal for all 9 months of pregnancy and for any reason. Over the next couple of videos, I'm going to do my little primer of some of the most important abortion cases in our history and ways in which this new Dobbs case can challenge them and how it can overturn some of the major flaws in Roe v. Wade, Doe versus Bolton, and Planned Parenthood versus Casey. So stay tuned for that for the next couple of days of these videos. For Right to Life of Central California, I'm John Girardi.